Infoblox is the global leader of a market segment called DDI, which stands for DNS, DHCP, and IP address management. The underlying platform for that is actual network intelligence. So we can actually say Infoblox is the global leader of in the segment of network intelligence, and specifically in the context of actionable network intelligence, which we'll discuss a little bit later. Infoblox is a worldwide company, public company that's headquartered in California, right across the street from Cisco Systems. We operate in about 45 countries worldwide. Here in the Middle East and Africa region, we're headquartered in Dubai, and we pretty much have regional offices around the region, Dubai and Turkey, South Africa, Saudi, and a couple other countries. We are fully invested in the region, not only just from a sales and satellite offices, but also from engineering, professional services, support. We have spare parts depots all around the region, and as such, we are a tier 1 vendor, when it comes to a technology provider for this region. Specifically in this region, we're actually focused on the sectors that comprise the mission critical national infrastructure. These segments probably include, or they would include banking, telco, healthcare, education, transportation, aviation, energy, defense, and government. Why? Because we fundamentally believe any drastic impact to any of these sectors will have a direct negative impact on the GDP and the stability of the country, of any country that that we operate in. So from that perspective, that's kind of where we're focused. We work, although we engage with customers directly on all these sectors, we definitely work through a network of resellers and value-add, distributors and partners, and we can basically classify them into kind of local, regional, as well as global, systems integrators like the Dimension Data, like the Nokia, Wipro, and many others. In the past couple of years, Infoblox has focused its innovations on some major challenges that our industry is going through, specifically in the area of security and cloud. So if you basically, and I'm sure you talk to other vendors and you talk to other customers, and this is what you're hearing, the one constant thing that continues to change in around the world, and specifically in the Middle East and Africa, is the entire threat landscape. Cyber warfare, cyber crimes, and cyber attacks. And specifically in the Middle East and Africa, it is actually exponentially higher than the rest of the world, and that's due to the geopolitical conflicts between the neighboring nations that is actually being translated into hacktivism and cyber warfare. In the other areas, obviously cloud and the entire transformation of the archaic and traditional data centers, moving from physical to virtual, and now moving to SDN and NFV. With adopting, clouds, whether from a private perspective with the service orientation strategy that big customers are going to be following, or, by adopting also moving some of their services to public clouds like AWS and Azure. So Infoblox is, we can say, plays an incredible and critical role in the security landscape and in the cloud landscape. And we've basically at GITEX launched our actionable network intelligence, platform, which is all about how we not only plug gaps and enable organizations to fundamentally adopt better security mechanisms and controls, and also transition to virtualized and cloud-oriented services. But the role we play is in how we fundamentally support an entire ecosystem of other vendors, the Ciscos and the VMwares and the Microsofts and the Fortinets and the Palo Altos, because of where we sit, taking all these rich insight and actually sending it to all these ecosystems so customers can fundamentally translate these critical insights into actionable steps and tasks in a very, very easy. So, I started by talking about Infoblox as a global leader in DDI and this underlying kind of network intelligence space. So what does that really mean? And specifically, our new kind of platform and entire messaging that's kind of governing our innovation and R&D is this actionable network intelligence. So if we take a step back and look at what's happening in the industry around us, we take a look at major mega trends that is coming right and hitting customers in the face, right? And hitting our industry head on. You have things like big data. You know, everything, every sensor, every machine, every device, every application is churning data. And when you actually put all this data together and you start looking into some trends, it actually uncovers some very powerful things that the business can use to either better secure itself or better target its customers or better fine-tune its business processes. We take a look at IoT, you know, with billions of devices now, you know, coming online on the network to create massive improvements in manufacturing and retail and healthcare and so on and so forth. If we take a look at, you know, security and the continuous change, the mobility and the LTE deployments in the region, each and every kind of trend by itself comes and creates incredible amount of challenge in the customer. So customers look at this as lots of noise. But what does that really mean to me? How am I going to actually adapt and adopt the critical nuggets of these trends, and what does this really mean for the business? And it's really difficult because as more and more things come on the network, the IT organization has very limited budget and very limited human capital to throw at the network to keep, you know, dealing with more routers and more security and more switches, more emails, more applications. So there's a big gap. So Infoblox Actionable Network Intelligence is all about allowing organizations to basically sift through all this noise and fundamentally take what's really key and what's really important for organizations, whether it's in the data center construct, in the security construct, in the compliance space, or in general as they actually adopt more and more of the digital economy. Utilities embracing smart metering, you know, municipalities embracing smart parking, building management systems coming, you know, online and becoming internet-based, and so on and so forth. So Infoblox is the underlying platform that fundamentally will provide incredible amount of, you know, control, security from the core of the network to provide incredible amount of visibility and confidence that customers can actually see what's going on and can actually respond to it and be in control, and it doesn't matter really what you want. So in essence, Infoblox provides you visibility and control over everything in your network. And as these trends come on, we also take control and embrace these trends to fundamentally deliver the critical nuggets and the critical things that customers need out of these trends. And by that, we can basically say we're the forecast-tolerant prism that allows organizations to filter through the good things and keep the bad things aside. You know, when we take a look at, you know, we talked about the mission-critical national infrastructure, you know, in the sectors there, but obviously when you take a look, you know, telcos are coming under a lot of attack, and they're also under a lot of pressure to, you know, be more profitable, retain their customers, gain new ones. So new services is really key. Subscriber quality experience key. So telco is one of the top, you know, sectors that sees Infoblox as a major partner enabler. The same thing with banking. The same thing with defense. You know, a lot of the defense sector customers now, or organizations, they've started their cyber warfare and cyber crime kind of units, and they're fortifying their networks. So they look to Infoblox to partner there. So I mean, we're seeing universities just because of the kind of open and more kind of democratic availability of internet services. How can the university protect other organizations from its own students? So we're seeing some of that, some of those sectors also adopt Infoblox pretty heavily.